Welcome, sir or madam. Please join me on my voyage and let me take you to the Hilton. Since 1925, Hilton was not only a name but also a standard of quality within the hotel industry. Simultaneously, it was, and still often is, seen as a company with most rigid hierarchy and structure, having a nearly dictator-like board of directors. However, profound changes have been made over the past decade, leading to an inversion of the hierarchical structure, a so-called bottom-up approach. This video will cover the current situation more in depth, touching upon topics like organizational behavior, business law, ethics, and macroeconomics. Aforementioned topics will all be connected to the essential investigative abilities, which will form the main storyline. As one might expect, vast amounts of information can be found on the internet, using services such as Google, but also on the corporate websites and online travel agencies. This research method is best known as desk research. My desk research revealed that Hilton was the world's leading hotel company until the recent merger of Marriott and Starwood. Also, their employees are mostly very positive about their job, enjoying special Hilton privileges, making career with the elevator program, and being able to be and express themselves freely in their working environment. Said information can be found on websites like Glassdoor.com, which is a website on which employees can post reviews and facts about their employers. In addition to the statement of personal expression, the research method of observation can be very well applied. As I have visited the newly built Hilton Schiphol a couple of times for different purposes, I have observed a couple of distinctive things. Firstly, all operational personnel are allowed to have tattoos and piercings, allowing for their personal taste and preferences, which goes to an increase in personal confidence. Secondly, they do not wear a full uniform but are allowed to choose their own jeans. Lastly, the space between hierarchical layers appears to be very small, as I noticed how the communications between a front office employee and her supervisor were driven on a basis of equality, where they could both openly express themselves on the matter at hand. No clear distinction was made between the hierarchical conventions of their assigned functions. Lastly, for more in-depth analysis of the company, qualitative research ought to be done. In this case, I had a free-flowing conversation with a Hilton graduate recruiter regarding my placement possibilities and its influence on my future career. He took his time and explained to me that the fastest way up the job ladder was by their elevator program. To become a most suitable candidate, I ought to be familiar with as many departments as possible and show genuine motivation if I were to be selected for their 3-year personalized career boost. Furthermore, he stated that to be recognized, I would have to be proactive and present the very best of myself each and every time. The most valuable information, in my opinion, is that motivation, ambition, and proactiveness combined are the key to the Hilton, where they will welcome you with open arms. In organizational behavior, everything revolves around the relationship between the employer and employees. For a proper relationship, there ought to be personal contact. Within Hilton, this is achieved by their extensive personal coaching. As they believe their employees are intrinsically motivated and always aiming for the best, Hilton provides personal coaching by means of mentoring and a personal development plan. This adherence to McGregor's theory of I results in coaching rather than dictating, and therefore requires more personal input from the employees as well. Ultimately, only the extremely motivated employees get the elevator program offered, presenting them with new opportunities, leaps in personal development, and a definite boost in their careers. One could say it is theory Y at work. Now, having covered the human's physiological needs and provision of safety, another important behavioral aspect is the craving of belonging, which Hilton fully saturates by making employees part of the Hilton family. For example, by offering them privileges, first chance at job vacancies, and much more. As team confidence and respect are stimulated by rewards for team members of the month for each department, and so do sincere parties and presents on birthdays. The final summit of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is realized by the personal development plans, aiding employees in their self-actualization and development. All employees are offered such structure and comfort. Nevertheless, employees maintain freedom in their jobs. As Hilton trusts her employees, employee empowerment and job enrichment make up their core values. For example, the freedom of wearing jeans in operations allows for more personal input and therefore more expressive employees. The drive to express oneself coincides with the need for the confidence to do so, ultimately resulting in more confidence and therefore happier employees. And, as is commonly agreed upon, happy employees make happy guests. As most Hilton hotels globally are franchised, a close look at the franchise regulations revealed some interesting facts. For this video, I will zoom in on the intellectual property clauses from a Hilton franchise disclosure for the main Hilton brand. It has been clearly stated that franchisees have a limited, non-exclusive right to use Hilton's intellectual property, amongst which are the Hilton name and logo. Also, they are to sign a sort of non-compete clause on the acquisition of future trademarks related to Hilton. This is especially relevant when intellectual property expires or has to be renewed. Clearly, by owning the intellectual property, Hilton also owns her image, brand awareness and distinctive character. Another point of interest is a clause that I came along in my placement contract. In this employment contract, it reads that the employee will sign over all proprietary rights of intellectual property created within the scope of its employment to Hilton. In layman's terms, everything one creates when working at Hilton is Hilton property. This has most likely been added to employment contracts to ensure non-competition by current or former employees. It guarantees exclusive rights for Hilton and prevents potential lawsuits from employees. Aside from employees and legislation, Hilton also takes the environment into account by promoting sustainability and renewing business processes into more eco-friendly ones. As a result of their efforts, they are the world's first global hospitality company to have obtained the ISO 5001, 14001 and 9001 certifications for their entire portfolio, representing their genuine care for sustainable development. In order to expand their positive influence, they also work on developing communities and teaching them how to be more sustainable. In Phuket, Thailand, for example, they built a hydroponic farm with the goal of teaching the local communities how to use it. Hilton does thereby not only care about the planet, but once again also about the people, whether it be their employees or their communities. As Hilton's portfolio already stretches to over 100 countries, finding new investment opportunities in yet uncharted territory is all but simple. However, based on recent developments and current predictions, the Republic of Mauritius offers an opportunity with high potential. With a 5-year compound annual growth rate of about 3.5% and a public debt of less than 53% of GDP, it depicts a relatively stable business climate. Furthermore, the country relies greatly on services and tourism, as between 1990 and 2010 the share of GDP from hotels and restaurants doubled. This can partly be explained by their more open policies towards foreign investments, but also the 15% corporate flat tax is a positive incentive. Furthermore, their economic freedom, being ranked number 15 worldwide, allows for a good investment climate. Moreover, as the unemployment rate hovers around 7.5%, labor is relatively easy to come by and wages are quite low as people are willing to work. However, there has been some instability over the past decade regarding inflation, which has fluctuated between 2.5 and 9.7%. Nevertheless, increased government expenditure over the past years has resulted in more stability and a more steady inflation rate of about 3% per year. Lastly, much interest can be adhered to the management of Mauritius' economy, which is mostly based on a laissez-faire policy, conform to their new classical approach. The government maintains low taxes, mostly defers from intervening in the economy, and allows for a genuine open market structure. Foreign investors are treated equal to domestic ones, and income taxes are only existent at a flat rate. Furthermore, business freedom is high, as business procedures have been simplified and labor regulations left far from rigid. The latter makes it much easier to hire and fire than in many other countries, at even lower costs of termination. For these many reasons, the Republic of Mauritius could potentially be a very profitable future expansion for the Hilton brand. As we have traveled our way through the world of Hilton, I can say no different than it is an amazing one. A world so rich of opportunities for both businesses and individuals, it can never be properly depicted by text or pictures or video. With the Hilton as your employer, the limits only lie at the edge of what you dare to achieve. Career boosters like the elevated program and personal development plans are only few of the many perks and already are so valuable. Also, the ability to be yourself within your working environment will do none other than boost your confidence and elevate your potential. Now imagine what it's like to be part of an enormous family full of drive and ambition, working together to day by day make the world a better place. Whether it be through individual dedication or through community projects, Hilton will support you along whichever road you choose. So expand your horizons, extend your boundaries, and start living your life to the fullest. All you've got to do is have faith and say, "Take me to the Hilton."